Yi Yi is about life. It's a film that does its best to emulate every facet of life. The main thrust of the movie is about a small family living in Taiwan who, after a tragic event in their family when their grandmother suddenly falls into a coma after falling down the stairs or something, they start to reevaluate their lives, all of them individually. The youngest son starts to find that he's attracted to women. He finds lustful feelings, love. He starts to figure out what he wants to be, who he wants to be, and how he wants to act. He starts taking photos of people, just the back of their head, because he wants to show people things that they wouldn't be able to see normally. There's parallels between family members. For example, the father is trying to grapple with his love life. He's married, but his wife can't handle the grandma laying in a coma. She feels her life is moving too fast, but she doesn't have anything to show for it. So she leaves to go to the mountains to live with monks and try to figure herself out spiritually. The father is working for a big company who's failing, and they're trying to find a merger that can help them grow. And all the while, a new love interest or a past love interest comes back into his life, and he has to try to understand his feelings about that as well. Then there's the parallel between him and his daughter, who is trying to find love in her life. She starts to see a guy who her friend had just broken up with. She's trying to deal with that. There's parallels between her father and her on their dates, how they act, how they sweat, as they say. And the whole family is just trying to figure out life.
爸比，我们是不是只能知道一半的事情呢？
你在问什么？爸比听不懂。
我只能看到前面，看不到后面，这样不是就有一半的事情看不到了吗？
People aren't who they seem to be. People aren't who they are on camera. And nor am I. Everyone should know that. And that's what this movie seems to be about, too. It seems to be about who people are and what kind of people they choose to show to other people. This movie's just about everything. So what I'm trying to emulate here is the best possible example of what this is like. No flashy editing. I'm just gonna upload this as is, really. I'll do minor things here and there, but I'm just planning on making this as simple as possible, because this movie is as simple as possible. But don't get me wrong, it is a great movie, not just because of the great character work or the compelling ways they grow in a very honest human way, but it also is a very good-looking movie. It's shot very well. It's gorgeous. There's lots of long one takes. There's great compositions, static camera mostly, but great compositions, very interesting ways of shooting things and editing things as well. It's a very technically sound movie. As great as this is, and as great as the characters are, I've realized the more and more I watch film that I do want a story that escalates, that grows, that builds with the characters. I want more of a thrust to things, and at times this has it. Like I said, there's some great parallels between characters that keep things interesting. I think in the small details of the movie, there is a lot to glean. I think this movie is a very detail-oriented one, and the more you focus on it, the more interesting the characters become, the more human they feel. And yet, story-wise, there just isn't a lot there. And I just wish there was. The performances are all great, though. There's a lot of characters I wish had more screen time. It's just, it's a very good movie. It's not a particularly pleasant one, although it has plenty of pleasant moments, but as characters in this say, life isn't full of happiness. It's a mix of sad and happy, and that's what this felt like. But I thought it was great. Sometimes it's a bit much, but I would recommend it. I think it's one that will certainly have you puzzling about things. That's how I feel right now. I just finished it like 10 minutes ago, and I'm just kind of sitting like this, just thinking. So I think it does its job. Next week, though, we have another film, and I'm just going to pick it at random in my brain. And the next film will be... I'm actually not sure. I normally cut out this portion where I try to think of a movie or think of a way to pick a movie. But right now, I'm just going to let this sit. I'm going to watch Solaris. That's next week's movie. Solaris.